The movie begins with two school buses traveling together on the road. The students are on a trip, happy and joking around, playfully hitting each other with pillows. The weather is sunny and calm. Meanwhile, a girl named Mitsuko is sitting alone, writing a poem. Two other girls mock her for writing instead of enjoying herself and playing with everyone. One of them snatches her notebook, and the pen falls to the floor. Mitsuko bends down to pick it up. Suddenly, a storm attacks the two buses, splitting them in half and also splitting the students' brains in two. Mitsuko is the only one who survives because she was bent over. When she stands up, she sees the bus without a roof and her friends with their bodies cut in half. She takes in the horrifying scene. A few seconds later, another storm approaches, but Mitsuko senses it and bends down just in time, saving herself from death. The storm cuts through power lines. When the bus stops, Mitsuko gets off and runs down the road. She sees the bodies of her classmates from the other bus scattered on the ground, all of them torn apart. She keeps running, screaming, and looking back, feeling the storm approaching again. Ahead, she sees four girls walking. She grabs one of them and pulls her to the ground, saving both of them, while the other three girls are killed by the storm. Mitsuko has now saved her own life and the life of this girl. However, not much time passes before the girl dies while trying to save some boys riding bicycles. Mitsuko is alone again, running as fast as she can. She reaches a river and sees more student bodies floating in it. Mitsuko washes her face in the water and changes into cleaner clothes, replacing her blood-stained one. She continues walking aimlessly down the road. After several hours of walking, she arrives at an all-girls school. Coincidentally, a girl named Aiki greets her and says, "Come on, let's go inside the school." Mitsuko is surprised that she and Aiki are together at the same school. Aiki teases her and asks, "Why are you shaking? We've always been classmates at this school." Mitsuko quickly bends down when a gust of wind passes by, but this time, the wind is normal and harmless. Aiki says to her, "There's something strange about you today," and starts walking toward the school. Mitsuko doesn't understand what's happening and can't find an explanation for it. Another gust of wind passes, and Mitsuko panics, running away. Aiki runs after her to calm her down, saying, "Nothing happened, don't worry." Mitsuko calms down a little, and we see that the teachers also recognize Mitsuko and treat her as if she's a student there. When Mitsuko and Eki are alone, Mitsuko asks, "Am I really a student here?" Eki replies, "Of course you are." Mitsuko starts to believe that what she saw earlier in the morning was a dream or a hallucination. She tells Eki about the wind that killed her classmate, but as she talks, she can't catch her breath due to the shock. Aki takes her, opens a window, and shows her that the wind outside is normal and not dangerous. She encourages Mitsuko to stretch out her hand, and Mitsuko calms down when she feels that it's just ordinary wind. The two look at each other and laugh because what they're doing seems so strange. Aki tells her, "Maybe you have temporary memory loss, and that's why you don't remember that this is your school." After that, the two meet their classmates, and they all laugh and joke together. They decide to skip the rest of the day's classes and leave the school. They head to the forest, laughing and playing. Mitsuko becomes happy and cheerful, unlike how she was earlier. She now considers what she saw in the morning to be just a dream and completely forgets about it, not thinking about it anymore. The girls stop by the lake to catch their breath, and Elki tells their friends about Mitsuko's dream, explaining how a wind killed her classmate. However, one of their friends, named Rimi, interrupts and says, "It's possible that it really happened. Maybe Mitsuko was in a parallel world. I've read that there are many parallel universes." But her friends don't take her seriously and think she's just joking. Later, they see a pillow on the ground and start playing with it together. Mitsuko notices two girls standing nearby and looks at them, laughing. Strangely, the two girls suddenly disappear. Rimi then tells Mitsuko, "If you want to change reality, you have to do something unexpected and out of the ordinary." Mitsuko thinks deeply about her word. After that, Mitsuko and Aki decide to return to school and enter the same classroom. Mitsuko sees a pillow on the floor, picks it up, and throws it at Aki. Suddenly, the teacher starts shooting at them with machine guns, killing all the girls, including Aki. Mitsuko is the only one who survives. The teacher announces that this is punishment for the girls who skipped class. The teacher is about to kill Mitsuko, but two girls appear, grab her, and escape. They run past a classroom filled with the bodies of the girls who were killed. The teachers entered the classroom and kill one of the students. Another student tries to resist, but is also killed. Rimi takes Mitsuko to escape, but Rimi gets shot. She tells Mitsuko to run, and Mitsuko flees with the remaining surviving students. The teachers shoot through the windows, mercilessly killing the students who skipped class, not allowing any girl to escape. 5 girls manage to get out of the school. One of them tells Mitsuko, "You need to think and do something because this whole situation is in your hand." Mitsuko doesn't understand what she means. The wind passes again, killing all the girls except Mitsuko, leaving her alone once more. The wind chases her, and Mitsuko runs for a long time until she reaches the city. She continues running through the crowds, which are all women, and stops when she sees a police station. She goes inside and meets a police officer. The officer thinks Mitsuko is crazy because she doesn't want to talk or explain why she's crying. Mitsuko tries to catch her breath and points in the direction of the wind. The officer is surprised when she calls Mitsuko Kiko and asks, Why are you wearing a school uniform? Mitsuko is even more shocked when she looks in the mirror and sees that her reflection looks completely different. It turns out that the officer, named Tomo, is a friend of Kiko. Tomo tells her, "You should be happy because your wedding is in a few hours." Mitsuko is completely stunned, unable to understand anything or think clearly. She lets Tomo take control of the situation. They get into a car, and the car takes her to a church to get married. Up until now, Mitsuko has been experiencing strange and bizarre adventures. Strangely, girls wave at them as they ride in the car, treating Kiko as if she's a celebrity. Everyone is happy because Kiko is getting married. When they arrived at the church, many women gathered around to congratulate her. When Mitsuko, now Kiko, entered the room to change her clothes, she was shocked to see Aki there. She couldn't believe her eyes and asked, "What's going on exactly?" But Aki whispered to her, "I know what you're thinking. Lower your voice, calm down, and I'll explain everything later." The girls around them talked about how handsome the groom was and other trivial matters. They brought her the wedding dress, and Aki ushered all the girls out of the room, explaining that Kiko was still nervous. When they were alone, Aki leaned in and called her by her real name, Mitsuko. She told her to follow her instructions, stay calm, and not panic. "I can't explain everything to you right now because they're watching us," Aki said. Kiko stared at Aki and let her take control. She put on the wedding dress, and once she was ready, some girls came in to take Kiko to the church. However, Aki attacked and killed all of them to teach Kiko how to fight. She handed Kiko a broken bottle to defend herself against anyone who made her uncomfortable. After that, Kiko walked toward the groom, holding the broken bottle instead of a bouquet. It turned out that all the guests were women, clapping and cheering for Kiko. At the very end, they saw a coffin containing Kiko's groom, who had the face of a pig. Suddenly, the guests started acting strangely, mocking Kiko and pushing her toward the coffin. When the coffin opened, revealing her pig-faced groom, the girls tried to force her to kiss him, but Kiko attacked them with the broken bottle, killing some of the girls. Aki appeared and helped her fight, but then the teachers from the school showed up. Kiko and Aki fought them off and managed to escape the church. Aki distracted the teachers while Kiko ran away. Kiko stopped when she saw a girl in athletic clothes. This girl called her by a new name, Ayume, and told her to join the marathon. Kiko looked at herself in the mirror and was shocked to find that she had transformed into a completely different person, now wearing athletic clothes. Her name was now Ayume, a famous marathon runner loved by everyone. A large crowd cheered for her as she ran with her teammates. Her teammates told her, "You've always been fast since school days." Ayumi, of course, didn't understand what they were talking about, but didn't ask questions or want to know more. She remembered running as a child and decided to enjoy the moment and keep running. She saw her schoolmates running with her, but suddenly, the pig-faced groom and the teachers started chasing them. The girls urged Ayumi to be brave, telling her, "You're the only one who can escape this world." Ayumi ran off the track at full speed and found herself in front of a cave. There, she saw a girl who took her to a group of girls who looked similar but terrifying, with their faces covered by their hair. After that, the girl says to Ayumi, "If you don't die, all of us will die," and tries to kill her. But Aki arrives just in time and stops her friend. Aki then tells Ayumi to repeat a phrase over and over, "I am Mitsuko." Ayumi follows her instructions and keeps repeating, "I am Mitsuko." In the end, she returns to her original form. Mitsuko asks Aki to explain everything to her. Aki tells her, "We're currently in an unreal world, a world of illusions. You are the main character here. To escape this world, you need to pull these 2 wires from my wrist and kill me. This way, I'll die, but you'll be freed and reach the control center." Mitsuko refuses because she doesn't want to hurt her friend, but Aki hits her with a pen to force her to agree. Mitsuko has no choice and pulls the wires. What happens next is that Aki is split in half and Mitsuko is finally freed, returning to the real world. Mitsuko finds herself in a restaurant and finally sees a man in front of her. As she walks further, she sees a poster on the wall with her picture, as well as pictures of Kiko and Ayumi. It turns out that this is a poster for a game, and the 3 characters, Mitsuko, Kiko, and Ayume, are the main characters of the game. It's also revealed that Mitsuko is currently in a dystopian city controlled by men, where only men live and they enjoy violent survival games. The game featuring the 3 characters is called Tag. A man approaches Mitsuko, recognizing her, and tells her, "You're in the future now." Mitsuko is shocked and faints. When she wakes up, she finds herself back in the cave where she was earlier. In the cave, all the characters from the game are displayed as preserved figures. As Mitsuko walks around, she sees an old man playing the tag game as Mitsuko's character. He tells her, "You're now 15 years in the future. When you were in high school, I had a crush on you. But after you were killed, I took your DNA and your friend's DNA and created 3D replicas of you." Mitsuko is stunned and sees replicas of herself, Aki, and the others. The old man says, "I created these replicas to put them in my game." A young man then appears and asks Mitsuko to join him on the bed. The old man orders Mitsuko to obey, and she starts walking toward the young man. Just as he's about to touch her, Mitsuko remembers Remi's advice. Do something unexpected to break free from the illusion you're in. Mitsuko takes this advice and attacks the man, screaming at him, "Don't treat girls like toys in your hand. She grabs a pillow and hits him with it. The feathers from the pillow turn red as she pulls a stick from the old man and kills herself. The old man is shocked and screams because her death will ruin the game. Indeed, the three characters die and Mitsuko is finally freed, returning to the real world with her freedom.